here's my transmission on the inner elder. There's a few pieces to this. So if the inner child is the innocence, the inner child is the innocence, the inner child that we've all spent some time with, some of us, some a lot more than others, but it's been a real focus of the last 20 years at different points for our human family. And it's going to keep being a really important piece of our healing journey. But if the inner child is the innocence, maybe sometimes I'll call that like the pure emergent soul. Sometimes I'll call the inner child, when it arrives on earth, to the learner, learning how to be here in the 3D and on earth. Sometimes I'll call the inner child the inexperienced, or the one who doesn't know. And the inner child is also connected to the timeless, also deeply magical, also, even though the inner child may not be the one that doesn't know, the inner child still has its own mystical listening, its own kind of guidance system. It might not know, but it still has a guidance. So the inner child as the innocent, the inner child as the innocent. And if the inner child is the innocent, then you can think of the inner elder as the wise one, the experienced being, experienced human, the soul that's been here for a while and in its 3D form worked a few things out. It's the teacher. If the inner child is the one who doesn't know, the inner elder is the one who knows. The one who knows. And let's just sit with those two pieces of ourselves for a moment. The me that doesn't know. I can feel that me. I can feel the me that doesn't know. That's a really important part of me. The me that hasn't seen a sunset over a mountain before, like that particular mountain before, and can be in just like the ecstatic, like, oh, like the beautiful awe of that, seeing the thing for the first time. You know, I didn't know this. I've never seen this. Oh my, tears and beauty and Then there's the me that's seen that sunset over that mountain hundreds of times. I know this. I know this. The sun comes out right there. Wait for it. Wait for it. I know that sun, and I know that mountain, and I know this moment. There's there's an awe in that as well. It's a different kind of magic. It's a different kind of appreciation. It's the appreciation of knowing, of experience, of having seen it before and still being moved to tears by it. In fact, it's a different kind of magic. It's the magic of knowing a thing. Sun, sun, I know mountain, I know them inside me. Whereas innocence is like, what are these things that are beautiful? What is happening here? I don't know this. This is crazy. Wow. So innocence has a magic, not knowing has a magic, and knowing has a magic. Knowing has a magic. Often in life, we fall, almost like our core archetype in some ways falls into one of these two, like leans in a particular direction. We lean into the not knower. We lean into the not knower, into the innocent, or we lean into the knower, the one who maybe the non-innocent at all, the one that is in control, or like knows things. You see politicians do this in a really overactive way. I know things. I really know things. This is how I get it. I get it all. I get everything. We're going to do it this way. I don't get anything. It's like, you guys don't get anything. You've got a lot of learning to do. Go back to the innocent side. But we kind of lean into these two sides. At different points in our lives, we change as well. But they're both here within us. Inside each of us is the innocent, the one that doesn't know, and the one that does know. And this workshop, this class here, is about building our relationship with the one that knows. So when we sit down to meet the inner child, we're sitting down with the innocent. When we sit down to meet the inner elder, we're sitting down to meet the wise one. It's really important to kind of really feel what the inner elder is for us to begin to cultivate relationship with it. So the deep self is different to the inner elder. The deep self is almost like it's more about our essence, more about our timelessness. The inner elder is definitely connected to timelessness, but our deep self is more connected to our essence, our timelessness, our emergent, the emergent form, our emergent soul. Our elder is more of this kind of human plane level, more of this like what does it mean to be a human? How do we be on earth together? How do we do this thing? We have experience over a human lifetime in our bodies, and we learn how to be together. We acquire the wisdom of being on this plane. So they're subtly different. We are always held. Just as you right now, if you were to do some inner child work and you could hold your inner child, you right now would parent your inner child. If we did inner child work, you'd hold them and spend time with them and ask them, what do you need? Or you'd tell them, I see you. We right now are always held in almost the same way by our inner elder. We're held. Our inner child, right now, we hold, but our inner elder holds us. It's what holds us. It's what sees us. It's what meets us. And let's just rest into that idea for a moment. It's not just me having to parent the little one. I'm also, to my inner elder, I'm the innocent. I'm the one that's still learning. To your inner elder, you're the divine young one coming through, growing up, coming deeper into the journey right now. Some people don't struggle with this idea of being held by their older self, by their deeper in life self. Yeah, let's just feel that for a moment. I'm always held by my inner elder. In every moment, in all the ways. And your inner elder can hold you with the same, in fact, with even more quality and precision and listening than you can hold your inner child. Isn't that wild? Isn't that absolutely wild? And your inner elder, this is all part of the transmission, your inner elder knows you better than you can ever know yourself. Isn't that wild? It's wild. Ah, my inner elder knows me better than I can ever know myself. My inner elder holds me even better than I can hold little me. And I can hold little me pretty well. Now, I've kind of learned to, I don't know about you, but I've learned to hold little me pretty solidly. Like I'm going keep on getting better, but like when I hold little me, when I hold my inner child, I hold my inner child fiercely, lovingly, softly, firmly, presently. I'm with him. Oh. And my inner elder can hold me right now, even in an even more refined way than I can hold my inner child. So there's a subtle revelation in that. It's very subtle, but it's really important. really important, because a time will come and the moment will come where we have to let ourselves be held by ourselves, actually. And we have to let our inner elder be more experienced than us, be more journeyed than us. We have to put we have to learn to put our own head in the lap of our inner elder. And be the little one. And we crave it. We crave it. We really like it. We really need it, actually. And so this is part of one of the kind of first revelations of the inner elder, is that it kind of just keeps going through life. Like, we don't become an adult and then we look after our inner child and now we're the guardian. It's not like, oh, I'm an adult now, I'm the guardian, the child's the child. It's like, no. That's just the first part of it. We always continue to be a version of the innocent. We're always archetypally the innocent to our older selves. Our older selves, our inner elder, is always our guardian, always our guide, always our holder, always the one that knows just what we need. And when we build our relationship with our inner elder, we open up to that guidance. We open up to that being held. And we open up to all of the wisdom and the knowing that comes with that.